and really the emphasis that I've heard so far, the main complaints I've heard against the passport bros is these guys are just going around sexually, exploiting these women, which in my opinion, I think that is a gross mischaracterization of the movement. Now, there are men out there who I'm sure are doing that, but there's a lot of men out there who are also just they just don't like the West. They don't like this Western culture. They think it's toxic, and they legitimately want to go in other cultures to be with traditional women, or they just want to get out of this American matrix. So I think that's a mischaracterization to say that this is just about sex. Also, it's so crazy to me that this is coming under intense scrutiny when literally other races have been doing this for like decades. Mail order bride, sex trafficking, like is that's a whole other thing. But even apart from sex trafficking, like if you think of like sexual tourism, my husband went to Brazil a few years ago, and he was telling me, like, I think it was like in the red district, in like certain parts of the country in particular, you saw like almost exclusively like white men with some of the locals, like almost exclusively, especially when you go into the richer parts of Brazil. Even to this day, it's still very segregated by rich and the poor. So it's like to try to paint this picture as if somehow Black men are going around just having all these crazy sexual escapades, sexually exploiting women. Not only is that a mischaracterization of the movement, I think you're also now turning a blind eye to what other races of men have doing, and also what other races of women are doing. Let's not act like women are going around doing the solo travel thing and going around and literally engaging in prostitution with young men from Africa and the Caribbean. Like, let's not act like women are doing that. So this is, to me, is why this whole discussion to me is largely disingenuous, because if it really was about a problem with sex trafficking and sexual exploitation, we wouldn't allow it for anyone. And hear me, I'm not a big supporter of sexual exploitation or sexual prostitution. Like, I don't support that morally. Y'all know I'm about this whole, I'm about wife stuff, how to be a wife and trying to raise a woman of wives who won't engage in that activity. But I'm just saying, in general, the principle already, to me, it's largely disingenuous, because if you really cared about it, then you would care about it when any and everybody does it. But somehow Black men are just, trying to stretch their legs out and recognizing that there might be more opportunities. Now it's sexual tourism, it's sexual exploitation. When literally other people have been doing it for decades and nobody bats an eye. So that's what I wanted to say. But let's continue.